The highly anticipated Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul heavyweight clash is just around the corner, and if you thought the hype couldn't get any bigger, think again. The drama between these two fighters reached a new level at the Cowboys versus Saints game where they squared off, sending shock waves through the crowd. These two were standing in the very stadium where they'll go to war on November 15th, 2024. But what really had people talking wasn't just the stare down, it was Jake Paul's explosive and disrespectful comments that crossed the line in a major way. Jake Paul has always been one to push boundaries, but this time he went beyond the usual trash talk. He didn't just poke fun at Tyson's age or question his experience, he took things to a whole new level. In a move that had Tyson's loyal fan base fuming, Jake called out Tyson's legacy, implying that the former champ was washed up and clinging to his past. "You were great back then, Mike, but now you're just holding on to your past. November 15th is the day I send you into retirement for good," Jake said, and that comment set off a firestorm. The response from fans was immediate and fierce. Tyson's followers, who have been rallying behind him since the start of this build-up, were not having any of Jake's disrespect. To many, this might be the moment Jake Paul finally bit off more than he can chew. Because it's not just the fans who are fired up. Mike Tyson himself seems to have tapped into the beast that made him a legend. And come fight night, Jake could be in for a serious reckoning. But let's break this down. Jake Paul is no stranger to controversy. Since stepping into the boxing world, he's fought big names, talked even bigger trash, and cemented his reputation as one of the most polarizing figures in sports. Love him or hate him, Jake knows how to get people talking, and this latest stunt was no different. The game itself, where the Saints crushed the Cowboys in a 44-19 victory, was just the backdrop for the real spectacle. Fans in the stadium were left buzzing after Jake and Mike had their heated exchange. In the lead up to this fight, Mike and Jake have been pulling out all the stops to make sure it's the biggest fight of the decade. They've been going at it in every public appearance, ramping up the tension and keeping fans glued to every interaction. From intense face-offs to non-stop trash talking, these two know how to keep the spotlight on them. But what happened at the Cowboys versus Saints game took things to a whole new level. Here's the thing about Jake Paul. He's built his entire brand on being unapologetically bold. He doesn't care about convention, respect, or tradition. He's here to break the mold. And while that attitude has earned him fans and media attention, when you go after someone like Mike Tyson, you're playing a dangerous game. Iron Mike is a boxing legend, a man who once ruled the heavyweight division with an iron fist. You'd think anyone facing him would show a little respect. But Jake Paul? Respect isn't in his playbook. Jake's trash talk has always been a key part of his strategy. It hypes up the fights, fuels the drama, and gets people invested. But calling out a living legend like Mike Tyson isn't the same as trash talking one of Jake's previous opponents. Tyson redefined what it means to be a knockout artist, and his legacy is cemented in the annals of boxing history. But Jake Paul didn't hold back. He called Tyson old, said his best days were behind him, and even suggested that the only reason Tyson was stepping back into the ring was to stay relevant. The crowd at the game was not pleased. You could feel the energy shift as people started booing Jake. Older fans, the ones who grew up watching Tyson dominate the ring, were especially vocal in their displeasure. Social media exploded with backlash, with people calling out Jake for crossing the line. Even some of his own fans were telling him to tone it down. Let's be real, though Jake knows exactly what he's doing. He thrives on this kind of drama. He's not trying to be everyone's favorite fighter, he's trying to stay in the spotlight, no matter the cost. By targeting legends like Tyson, he ensures that all eyes stay on him. But even Jake has to know that there's a fine line between building hype and showing pure disrespect. When you start going after icons like Tyson or Muhammad Ali, fans aren't going to sit back and let it slide. The tension between Jake and Tyson didn't start at the Cowboys versus Saints game. It's been brewing for months. Back in August, at their first major press conference, Jake hinted that he was going to push the envelope with Tyson. Tyson, who briefly discussed some health issues he had been dealing with, made it clear that despite the challenges, he was ready for the fight in November. But Jake, being Jake, saw this as an opportunity to stir things up. When Tyson mentioned his health, Jake immediately seized on it, mocking Tyson and asking if he was even fit enough to make it to the fight. "You sure you can even make it to fight night, Mike? You look like you're one press conference away from passing out," Jake jabbed, making light of Tyson's physical condition. It was clear that Jake was looking for any angle to get inside Tyson's head, but Tyson, ever the professional, remained calm and composed. The thing about Tyson is that he's been through it all. He's fought the best in the world, faced adversity, and come back from challenges that would break most fighters. A little trash talk from Jake Paul isn't going to throw him off his game, but disrespecting his health? That's a different story. You can bet that Tyson is keeping score, and when November 15th rolls around, he's going to make Jake pay for every insult. For Jake Paul, this fight is more than just another payday. This is his chance to legitimize his boxing career. So far, he's built his reputation by beating opponents who, let's be honest, aren't in the same league as Mike Tyson. If Jake wants to prove that he belongs in the boxing world, he needs this win. Beating Tyson would be a game changer for Jake's career, silencing the critics who see him as nothing more than a YouTuber playing at being a boxer. But beating Mike Tyson? That's a tall order. Tyson isn't just any opponent, he's one of the greatest to ever step into the ring. Even at his age, Tyson still has the power, skill, and experience to give Jake the fight of his life. And after what went down at the Cowboys game, you know Tyson is going to bring his A game to shut Jake down. November 15, 2024 is shaping up to be one of the most anticipated nights in boxing history. The hype surrounding Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson is through the roof, and tickets are selling out like crazy. Fans are placing bets, and the buzz is at an all-time high. This is the fight everyone is talking about, the clash of eras, where Jake Paul faces off against one of the most feared men in boxing history. When the fight was first announced, a lot of people, including you and me, were skeptical. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson? It sounded like a wild dream, something too crazy to actually happen. But now, as we get closer to the date, it's clear that this is no joke. Fans are on the edge of their seats, and the excitement is at a fever pitch. Whether you love Jake or hate him, you can't deny that this fight is must-see TV. Jake has done a lot to get under Tyson's skin, but come November 15th, all the talk stops. When the bell rings, it's just Jake Paul and Mike Tyson in the ring, and we'll see who's really the king of boxing. Jake's got a big mouth, but Tyson? Tyson has the history, the skill, and the knockout power to back it all up. This fight isn't just another celebrity match, it's a clash between a brash newcomer and a seasoned legend. So there you have it, fight fans. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson is about to go down, and it's going to be one for the ages. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for all the latest updates. We'll be covering every twist and turn leading up to the big night, and trust us, you don't want to miss it. Until next time, we'll see you in the next video.